Hello everybody, it's Stephen and Walter here for another episode of So Chatty, episode number 161. And this week we're carrying on with I Make a Shirt, Stephen Makes a Shirt, and we're going to do, as I've entitled it, the dreaded sleeves, because Walter has not been very positive about this process with me. So we'll see what happens. This could be a disaster. But before we get into the disaster, and it is November the 1st, 2024, I have nothing really to show you except what's behind us. Move over that way. And this is not done, but this is a Stephanie Stitches quilt. It's her Whirling Wonder, and I've almost got it done. I just need to put the top and bottom borders on it, and you can see I'm doing pieced top and border from the fabrics that were left over from the stars. And I'm really liking this. I think it's going to turn out really well. And if this turns out well and it quilts well, I'm really seriously considering to make this one a candidate for entering into the Brooklyn Spring Fair next June. Maybe, we'll see. More about that as I get it finished. Okay, Walter's been working on another shirt, but a shirt for himself. So show us, how far have you gotten?
Well, yesterday I happened to have set in the sleeves. So I'm very well set for today's session. So
okay, so yeah, he's had practice. More of it. I have not. So this will be a real scream. So just what?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Before we get to the screaming part here, yes, there could be a lot of screaming. Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen. We had a little problem that I did not know about that we discovered this Wednesday. Thank you, Dana, from out in Saskatchewan, Regina, Saskatchewan, because she's the one that pointed it out to me. For the last, 2 months, I have been posting the wrong link in just our lives, just Stephen and Walter live show notes. It's been correct on the vlog, on Idiot Quilter, on So Chatty. It was just in the lives for getting on to Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen on Wednesdays. I have now corrected that. I don't know how it happened. I never noticed it. Once again, thank you, Dana, for figuring that out, because I don't know how many others of you out there may have gone to the live and clicked on that link and got nothing. So sorry about that, but you know, I appreciate it when people do point out in a very polite way any kind of trouble or problems that you might be having, because yeah, I'm an idiot. So this Saturday, and this link is correct, and it's in the show notes for this, it's in the show notes for the vlog, my vlog, and for the Idiot Quilter that happened on Monday and Tuesday. Pop-up sew day, all day, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And runs until approximately 4:30 to closer to 5, because Stephanie will be on Wednesday or on Saturday as well, and I'd like to catch Stephanie's live when she does it on Saturday afternoon. So that's usually at 5, so we'll close down around 4:30, because I'm sure there are many of you that would like to join in on Stephanie's live on Saturdays as well. So yes, this Saturday, 8 a.m., the virtual doors open. It is a Zoom. All are welcome. You do not, if you've never been to one before, why? You will have a good time. And you bring something to work on. We chat, safe zone, no drama. You do not have to reserve a spot. Come and go as you please. Okay? Very relaxed. It's not like the retreat or that kind of thing. Okay. Did I mention that it's this Saturday, November the 2nd? Did I mention that?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Which is pretty much typical. This Saturday, November 2nd. Happy Halloween, by the way. At the time of recording this is actually Halloween. You won't see it till the day after. You may not see it at all. Okay, so we are going to do sleeves. And I'm shivering in anticipation and not in a good way. All right, take it over. What's happening?
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing this afternoon anyway is I'm going to teach Steve how to sew in a sleeve. However, we've decided to do one off camera first and then show you the one on camera, the second one. So,
and just so you know, we're saying we're going to show it off camera. It does not mean we have pre-recorded that part yet. We're about to record that now, but you're not going to see that part. Just so we get a feel of it, because there could be bloodletting.
Yeah. Now, with the sleeve itself,
I'll switch the camera down so people can see what you're talking about. Okay.
Okay, with the sleeve itself, this is the sleeve hole. that we've cut for before, and this encompasses the front of the shirt here on this side, the back of the shirt, and part of the yoke. Okay, and so this is the hole that the sleeve has to fit into, and part of the pattern tells you on the front of the shirt to cut a little notch here. You may not see it, there's a little notch here, and two little notches at the back here. A single notch indicates the front of the shirt, and a double notch indicates the back of the shirt.
Okay, so just before you go on, so basically looking at it all flattened out like this, I'm trying to get my orientation. So this is our yoke hole.
Right.
Okay, but there's a seam here and a seam here, so I'm assuming those are our shoulder seams, right?
Right.
Okay.
So anyway, so the sleeve itself is cut out, and again, the sleeve has a notches put into it as well to indicate where the front of the sleeve is and where the back of the sleeve is.
So 2 notches for the front, or 1 notch for the front, 2 notches for the back?
Yeah, there's 2 notches for the back and 1 notch for the front. And the sleeve has to be sewn in to the armhole this way. Now you're wondering.
Now, for those of you that are quilters, you're going to say, well, this is like making a drunkard's path. Actually, it is not, because if you'll notice something about the differences in the curves, this curve is a lot bigger than this curve this is going into. And on a drunkard's path, they are just convex and concave. They're both the same size.
Now, what's interesting about this part here is the part that it has to be eased in. That if you do a measurement from this notch to this notch, it is about, in the shirt portion, it is about 1.5 inches shorter than the part of the sleeve that is curved at the top.
Okay, so when you say the measurement from this notch to those notches, you mean taking into consideration the curve. You're not
Right.
doing a straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it works out to about a 1.5 inch shorter than what this sleeve is. So what we're going to have to do is gather the top of this sleeve so that it's will fit into this hole. And the reason we do that is that when we do the gather, we will notice that the sleeve will curve, and it's so that the sleeve hangs down. If you have a shirt, you don't walk around with your arms out like this if it was straight, right?
We don't?
No, we don't walk around with your arms straight out or
Yeah, I can
whatever.
see that.
So you know, I know that. So what happens is that makes the sleeve bend down so that it drapes.
Okay, do you want to just demonstrate that on my shirt right here? Let me get the camera.
If the
Okay,
sleeve
so
was sewn in straight, you'd have to have your arms out like this all day long,
okay.
right? But because your arms are down, the extra fabric causes it to drape down on the side. So that's why you sew the sleeve in that way. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense maybe to people that are quilters, but that's just the way it works with
Yeah, it's as
garments.
clear as mud to me, but we will
Okay, so
take
what we're going to do is we're going to, we'll do this on camera later, but we're going to sew a basting stitch, or I call it a basting stitch, but it'll be using the same stitch length as when you sew the sleeve in, all the way around here. We're going to gather the sleeve slightly. We're going to put the sleeve together here and sew all the way around at 3/8 of an inch. And then we're going to serge it, and then we're going to press down the seam, and then we're going to top stitch it.
Oh my God. Okay, just a couple of questions for clarification. This will probably clear up once I get doing it. But when you say we're going to sew in a basting stitch, are we using the sewing machine?
Yes, we are.
And what length of stitch? 3.0?
No, we're using, I call it a basting stitch, but it's not technically a basting stitch. You're using the same length that you would do when you're sewing the sleeve in.
Okay, and that
So you're
would
just
be
doing as well. What we're going to be doing is we're going to do a stitch all the way from here to here. We're going to have tails on either side, so because we're going to tug these tails and cause the sleeve to gather in.
Okay.
And the other thing is that you want your stitch length to be the same length as what you're sewing, because you want your pleats or whatever, or your gathers to be the same length as you're sewing. You're going to be sewing the sleeve in at 3/8 of an inch, but your little basting stitch will be slightly under 3/8 of an inch.
So like what, a quarter?
No, not a quarter. Between a quarter and 3/8.
Okay. So 3 point. The hell was that? Oops, never mind. That's just my printer blowing up.
Yeah, so it's just so that it's the inside here slightly, and then when you sew your sleeve in, you're going to go beyond where the basting stitch is, so you don't have to yank it back out again.
Okay, so what length of stitch then, if we're going to have the basting stitch and the sleeve sewing in, what length of stitch is that?
Okay, what length you're going to be using a 2.4 length on the Janome machine for both the basting stitch and sewing it in.
Okay, and am I still using the F foot?
You're still using the F foot.
Okay, with the needle in the center position.
Yes.
Okay. All right, anything else we need to know before we go off camera and do one of these and then
Right.
come back on, and hopefully we'll be able to do it on camera and show you exactly what Walter's explained to you now. Got that?
Yep.
That's it? Okay.
That's it.
Okay, we've done the first sleeve, and I'm not going to pretend that this looked easy, because it didn't, and we ran into a few problems, but Walter's going to explain the process now that you can see the finished product.
Okay, so what we did was we
Oh wait, our microphone? Oh yeah. Okay, we're okay. Fine.
yeah, what we did was we basted the sleeve, and then we gathered it, we pinned it in, we sewed it on here, we then serged it, and then we top stitched it down.
And the problem we ran into with this is that we had to do some unseaming because we got a rollover in the fabric.
When I was stitched in the sleeve part folded over, and I didn't catch it when I was stitching it in, so we ended up having a big folded seam all the way across the sleeve, so I had to unpick it. And I've had that happen before, but I haven't had it happen in a while. And I guess it happened because people were watching me.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking forward to doing this because, yeah, I mean, it makes putting it on the pocket look easy. I can tell you. Okay, so now it's my turn, and we're going to do this on camera, and I have no idea what this is going to turn out like. This could be a complete disaster. So, what do I do first?
The first part we're going to do is I'm going to have Steve stitch a basting stitch from this side all the way over to this side where the
So I'm going from the marks to the marks?
Yeah, from the marks to the marks.
So this is the double mark.
Tail on either side.
Okay,
right?
so am I sewing from the beginning of this mark or the end of this mark?
The end of this mark.
So right there.
Right, and
I'm just going to put a clip here so I know where it starts, my thing, and it's going right over to just in front of the single notch, right? Where's the notch? There it is.
yeah, at the end there.
Okay, so I'm doing this so I know where to start and where to stop. And I'm going to sew in not 3/8 of an inch, between 3/8 and a quarter of an inch.
Right.
Which was, that probably works out mathematically
leave a tail
something.
on either side, and don't put a stop in it.
Yes, that's the problem we had before. The sewing machine was set up to do an automatic stop at the beginning and at the end, and that gave us a little bit of a problem because you couldn't pull the stitches through. Okay, so as we said before, to review, and I'm just going to move the camera so you can see the sewing machine. My stitch length is set at 2.40. It's basically the default.
Right.
And so I am going to line this up. If I lined it up with that.
Sure you have a hunk of thread that's
oh, yeah. So
the top and bottom thing.
So should I just
run a little piece of leader through it. Because then I know it. Yeah, I wouldn't do that because it's locked. You've got a locked stitch when you're doing that, right?
Oh,
You want and
okay. So I don't do that. What do
okay, no, okay, just run it through, right, and stop after it falls off the end. Okay, stop. Okay, now up. Yeah, I pull the thread out, up the needle,
Yep.
pull the and just pull the whole thing out. Okay, so you've got two threads hanging out.
Okay.
Right. Now chop it so that you have a nice leader on it.
Okay, why don't I just leave the leader on the end of it and then chop it afterwards?
Well, you can do that.
Because then I can see it.
Yeah, okay.
Where it is.
You can do that.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so now I'm going to start just in front of, this is the two notches, so the second notch.
Yeah.
And I'm going to line it up. So if I put it up against this foot, that would be 3/8 of an inch, right? So, and then if I put it in on the inside of that foot, that would be 1/4 of an inch. So I want it sort of in between.
Yeah.
All right.
Doesn't have to be even.
And of course I'm not, ooh, that's a little fast. So it didn't have to be even? Good, because it's not going to be.
Well, just so long as it's less than that 1/4 or 3/8, and try not to get too much to the 1/4 because it ends up causing you to get more gathers.
Isn't there a foot for this?
No.
There should be. Am I okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm nervous. I'm very, very nervous. And this isn't even the hard part. So I'm stopping just before it, right?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter, just because we'll just not pull it tight there.
Okay, so now I've got
just
to just
up.
needle up and foot up.
Yeah. Okay, and snip it.
Where are my snips? Okay. So this is where I have to pull two of these threads.
No, one.
One. Okay.
The back one.
The back one. Find the back one. Okay. Here's the back one. All right. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got the, is this the back one?
Yeah.
I would call that the front one.
Okay, well, you're on the back of the fabric, right?
Yeah, but this is on top of it.
Well, it's on top.
Okay, the top thread. I'm going to pull the one single top thread. Okay, and I'm going to, and then sort of space this out. You said what? 1 inch, half, 1.5 inch, half an inch.
Just space it out evenly. See, takes a little practice to pull it out. See, okay. You gather a little bit at the beginning, and you push it down towards the other end, right?
Well, what, this end?
Yeah. See, if you pull it right, you start pulling, grabbing the thread, and pulling this over.
Oh. Okay.
Actually, it's probably too much of a gather. Yeah.
This doesn't pull very well.
Don't yank too hard. Okay, now you just start, and then you just slowly grab. Okay, hang on. Grab this tight here with your fingers and pull, and sort of like just run your finger along the edge.
So.
And you see it moves the fold further down. You want a nice even. It's just a nice little gather all the way across to the other side, to where the other part is.
Okay, now to get more of this, can I
Okay, you can
pull on
pull
the
from
other
the
end?
other side, but actually right now you're doing good. I think you can just do it from the one side.
Oh. That doesn't feel like I have anything to gather.
No, okay, so you can do it from the other side too if you want, but I think you've got a fair bit of gather there already. A little awkward to do it from the other side. Yep, there you go. And try and make it so that it's very even at the bottom so that you don't have any tucks. And just make sure it's well spaced together. Okay, I think you've got enough of an ease there. In fact, you've got a little bit more than you need, I think.
So should I?
Just try and even these little all the way across to make it almost look flat. Especially on the bottom, not so much at the top. The top, that you don't care about the top gathering. It's the bottom where the okay. I think you're pretty good there. So let's go back to the table. You probably need to pin that down in your lap. Like
Yes,
let's just take a look at what you've done here. And you gathered a little too much.
Okay, so you're really not gathering all that much.
And what's happening
it starts to
is
curve.
it curls up, and that's where your cap of your sleeve is.
Or you just make it into a shower cap.
Yeah, so now you're going to have to pin it into your bowl.
Okay. So how does this work?
Okay. Can I have your little scissors, please? There's a little bit of a little uneven here, so we're just going to even it up. Okay. And then now you're going to pin it in right sides together on this
Okay.
part of
Put
the
it down
sleeve.
so people can see.
Right sides together. You're going to pin this in right sides together, starting at this end all the way to that end.
So I'm going to match up this corner with this corner, right?
Right.
And then we're just going to follow it around.
Yeah, yeah.
What about those notches?
No, hang on. Yeah, okay. And then, okay. Yeah, well, go ahead, follow it around. We may have to adjust it, but use lots of bugs.
Oh, I will.
gathered a bit too much.
I'm running out of corner.
Yeah, you gathered it too much. That's why.
So what if I do this? And then,
yeah, and just pin it up to the other notch.
what you mean on this side?
Yeah,
because
when you sew
very
from
awkward.
the edge to the notch, it's even.
Okay. This is very awkward, people. Very awkward. Okay, that's
Okay,
to the notch. Now, we got to even this out more. Sorry if you can't see this clearly, but there's just no way without a professional cameraman, and even then, that I can get this in the shot.
Now hang on. We just wanted to check something out here. See. I want to see how much of this, if it's, actually it's not too bad. So go ahead, keep doing that.
Don't try this at home.
Okay.
So I got it?
Yeah. Now you're going to have to try and
Wait, that came off.
Yeah, so that's the problem with using.
What, so you prefer to use pins?
No, I don't know. I usually use clips, but I sometimes wonder if I should use pins.
I'm still not getting that right. Okay. All right. All right?
Yep.
Okay, now what?
Now I have to go over and sew at 3/8 of an inch all the way around, like I showed you, and try not to make the same mistakes I make.
Yeah, well. Okay, so we got to keep it flat on the bottom. Awkward, awkward, awkward. So that's what's happening here.
Your sleeve should be on the bottom. Your sleeve is on the top right now.
What, you mean I gotta be the other way around?
Yep.
Were you really going to tell me that before I start to sew it?
Your sleeve's still at the top, if you see.
What?
No, that's okay now. It's right at the bottom.
You're confusing me now.
No, you're all right.
Arg, 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 arg. This is extremely, what's happening here?
Wait just a sec before you start. Let's just check your clips on this side. Yeah, you're okay. All right.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm doing 3/8, right?
Yeah.
So 3/8 is on the outside edge.
Of the foot.
And the outside edge of the foot.
Yeah.
Do I backstitch?
Yeah, just a couple of stitches. You don't have to go too many. Okay. If you pull your clips out too fast, then
I'll lose it. All in real time, people. I will never complain about doing a drunkard's path again. Maybe Walter can sing while I'm doing this. That'll drive you all off the channel. I want. Go ahead. We're almost at the end, people. The moment of truth.
Okay.
Moment of truth.
Okay, let's take a look.
Let's move the camera over.
First, I check on the outside just to see.
On the outside.
It looks pretty good. Inside. Yeah, it looks good. I don't see any major tucks. You got there's some of your basting stitches sticking in.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, no one sees that.
You can take it out if you want, but I don't care if you.
Now leave it. Nobody can see it.
No. Not noticeable. Okay, that's fine.
All right, now what do we do?
Serge it.
Oh, now we have to go up to the serger. Okay. This is also a scary part, people. So what we're going to do is, I've already seen how it's done, but it's one thing to see it and then one thing to do it. We're going to go all the way along this seam and serge it down. And also cutting off a little bit at the same time. So we'll go up.
So that's where your seam got because it pulled apart here.
Yeah.
Your seam went down a little bit. That's why.
That's why I've got a little uneven there.
You might cut that off when you're going.
When I'm using the serger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go upstairs and we'll show you what it looks like to serge.
We are going. So Steve's going to serge this. Put your sleeve side down.
Is that sleeve side down?
No, that's sleeve side up. And so in case you do make a boo-boo, you'll cut into the sleeve and not into the top.
Oh, so no pressure here, people. This is so bloody awkward. Curves, don't recommend them. Okay.
Make sure it's nice and flat. You check, go very slow and put it against the knife. slide it underneath the foot.
Where's the pedal?
It's right below you. Okay, now look underneath. Just make sure your fabric is no, not like that. Look underneath. Hold your fabric like this, right?
Yeah.
And then every so often flip it up and check underneath. Make sure it's not folding underneath.
Okay.
Especially when you're going past the notches. That's most important because you'll notice it starts to fold because of the curve. Check underneath. Don't just touch it, look at it. Just lift it up straight. Okay. See, it's beginning to fold over.
Yeah, I see that.
You can hold it as you're serging. Stick your thumb underneath it like that.
I feel all thumbs.
Okay. Check on both sides.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I caught it here.
No, here. You didn't.
So I can just go start up and
Yeah, go turn it on that side if you want.
what? Turn it this side so I can see.
Yeah. Remember, you're hitting your needles, so you can't just...
What's that?
Your needles are up.
Oh. Oh, okay. That makes a difference.
It won't go with the foot up.
Yeah, I just figured that one out.
make sure you didn't run over the... Okay, it's okay.
My God, how do you work in lighting like this? You have such bad lighting. Okay.
Yeah, well, your sleeve's a little crooked, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
We'll notice. All right. Now what do we do?
Now, what we do is we go downstairs and we press it.
Okay. Should I be clipping off any of these?
Well, you can do that downstairs.
All right.
Ow, step on my foot. Okay, so trim those little excess offs.
That's back pocket.
Oh, okay, so flip it. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no, that's the dart. Okay, where's the sleeve?
Okay, find the sleeve that you just did.
There.
That's it. There. That's this one. Okay. There, okay.
Okay. Another string here. So, okay, so we're taking it to the ironing board, and I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to see. There we go. So,
I need to use that one.
Oh.
I'm using that one up there. Well, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Do both.
Okay.
Stand over there. God, we need a team. We really do. We need a team. All right. So, what am I doing here?
You're pressing.
So I'm using the ham.
You're using the ham.
This is the ham, and I'm pressing this, and I'm pressing it that way.
Yeah, you're pressing it towards the
this.
body of the.
So towards the button band.
Yeah.
Okay.
Away from where the sleeve is.
Yeah.
And kind of pull it out.
It's the first time I've ever used a ham. I would have preferred, would have rather have used a chicken breast, but you know, whatever. Jeez, everything sticks. I need 3 hands. Okay, this one's not laying down.
It'll be okay once you start sewing.
Hot. Hot, hot. Steam, hot. Ah! Did it again.
Okay.
All right. Am I good?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do is top stitch that all the way around so that it lays completely flat. Yeah. And
There's too much bloody fabric. Okay, I lost my...
this part that's not sewn down.
this part. So,
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
I'm going to cut you off.
Walter's cleaning off the clips. I have my pressed seam towards the back side of the shirt,
Not toward the sleeve,
towards the body of this shirt. And then I'm going to line up my foot along, what am I doing? How close? And the inside or outside of the foot?
Here. So you want the needle to go through here, right? So lining up this edge to the inside of that foot. Okay.
Okay.
And then make sure you just
Keep it flat.
keep it flat.
All right.
And make sure that seam is folded there, because sometimes right at the
It'll fold the other way.
Sometimes it'll fold the other way.
Okay. Do I have to backstitch?
You don't have to. Because the next thing we'll do is we'll unfold that side with side seam.
So people, are you all having fun now? Easy as pie. I know for those of you out there that are seamstresses and have done this 1,000 times, you're laughing at me right now going, so you make the simplest thing look so difficult. Well, no, this is a difficult thing. Now the reason we're doing this top stitching here is to keep that seam.
You would have to do, we're doing it with the serge seam, but you could have to do the same thing with a flat top seam.
And that's just to keep the seam flat against the shirt.
Right.
Do I have to back stitch when I get to the end, or just stitch right off?
Just leave it off the end because I'm going to do the side seam.
Okay, teacher, inspection. Let me move the camera so people can see.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so we have two sleeves in there now attached to the body. So that's it for today, right?
Yeah.
Because, so what's coming up? What's next week?
Next week is the side seams, and we might, that probably won't take us too long, and then we'd have to start with the collar.
Okay, so everything we've done to date on this shirt, is this the hardest part?
That is the one that
Tell me yes.
It's the one that I don't like the most. The collar has its problems as well. So.
Oh, great. More problems to come. Okay, be sure to tune in next week for the more problems. So next week, it's the side seams.
Well, mind you, the collar's a little bit involved, but I like doing it better than the sleeves. So.
Okay, so what do I think so far? I don't know if I can do this on my own yet. Up to this point, maybe. I don't know. I may never try that. This may be my one-off. Okay, we'll see though. We've got many more miles to go. So tune in next week for that. And also, something I didn't mention at the beginning of today's show is that there's going to be a special announcement on my vlog and on Idiot Quilter next week that involves Hope Air. Yeah, that's what it's called. The charity that I've donated a quilt to. Well, I've been in contact with the people, and well, I'll be letting you in on that. You could win one of my quilts. Yes, more about that next week. And don't forget Pop-Up Sew Day this coming Saturday, November the 2nd. Zoom, links in the show notes. And yeah, that's all you need to know. Okay, thanks for putting up with us today. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. Say goodbye, Walter.